Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, good morning everyone. How are you today? How are you, Prof? Dato Nasir? Do you hear my voice, Professor? Hello? Hello, Professor? I cannot hear your voice. Can you try to say something?
Hello.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, today, like usual, every Monday actually, but we have some fresh schedule for this week, but it's okay. We will continue about discussion of essential of organization behavior with visiting professor here, still with Mr. Professor Dato Nasir. All right. Before we started, let's pray together. I hope that this session will be smooth and success.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tusnu. Okay, good morning, everybody.
Okay, good morning, Prof.
Sorry for tomorrow, I got the very important meeting. So that's why I postponed my class today. Okay, we start our class, the basic motivation, chapter 7. This is very important subject or aspect in the OB, organizational behavior. Okay, after studying this chapter, students will be able to describe the 3 key elements of motivation. Number 2, students will be able to compare the early theories of motivation. So many theories in motivation, from the old theory, the beginning theory, until the current theory. And should be able to contrast the element of self-determination theory and goal setting theory. That is the very popular theory in OB, and demonstrate the differences between self-efficacy. The word self-efficacy, that is very important to the everybody in organization. That's why I relate to the self-efficacy theory. Reinforcement theory, equity theory, and expectancy theory. There's so many theory in motivation, but we expose a little bit in several theory. After the end of this class, also should be able to identify the element and the implication of the employee job engagement for managers. Job engagement, similar with the job commitment, job involvement, but have the little bit differences, but there are more similar. Job engagement, job commitment, job participation, almost the same. And last but not least is should be able to describe how the contemporary theories of motivation complement one another. You don't forget, this theory is the beginning from the previous theory, and they strengthen the theory by the proponent of the theory. What is motivation? It's a simple word. Everybody talking about motivation, but some of them, I don't know what is the actual definition of the motivation. For the academic, motivation is the process that account for an individual intensity, direction, and persistence of effort toward attaining an organization goal. In simple words, for the layman, motivation is motive. That motive that in people must move from one condition to other condition. What motive them to move? Okay, intensity. Intensity is the amount of effort put forth to meet the goal, and direction effort to channel toward organization goal. And then persistent, how long the effort is maintained. Okay. The early theory of motivation is by Maslow. Uh, hierarchy, Maslow hierarchy of the need theory. This is the old theory. Yeah? Um, Talking about needs, needs to the shelter, need to the food, need to the security, and then they move to the another level until the higher level is self-actualization. If you in the peak of the Maslow hierarchy need theory, you don't that is the very suitable place for you. You don't care what people have, what people do, what people get, because of you have everything. That is self-actualization. The second old theory is the Herzberg two-factor theory, very popular. We call motivation hygiene theory. One side is motivation, one side is hygiene. And number three, McClellan theory of need. That is three need theory. This is the figure of the hierarchy of theory. People move from the bottom and going up to the self-actualization. The basic theory, the very basic is physiological. People need eat, need shelter, term of sexology, this is reflect to the physiological. Then move to the safety, security, safety, security, and then next is social belonging. They must together with your community, and then esteem, self-esteem, and then last is self-actualization. Self-actualization. That is the peak, peak of the theory needs, hierarchy theory of needs. This is a figure of the theory. On the left is not certified, and on the right is certified. This is on the right is motivation factors, and the left is hygiene factors. Hygiene factors. Okay? We look at the motivation factors. Promotional opportunity. If you work in organization, you get promotion. You will certified, or you get chance to get promoted. And then opportunity for personal growth. You can attend training or education, long education. The recognition, the boss recognize what you did. Next is responsibility. They give you new responsibility. And last but not least is achievement. They recognize your achievement, and receive the reward. The highest of these motivation factors, the more you certify. If the lower of the achievement motivation factor, you achieve not certified. Compare with the hygiene factors, that is different from the motivation factors. Hygiene is involved in quality of supervision, the way of the supervisor deal with you or supervise you. Pay, company policies, physical working condition, relationship, and job security. If the workers have or receive less hygiene factors, they will feel dissatisfaction. If they receive more, then meet expectation, and they will not satisfied. They will not satisfied, but we compare with the motivation factors, they will become the good workers, active factors. Only dissatisfied and not dissatisfied. Dissatisfied, not dissatisfied. Dissatisfied also reflect the satisfied. Satisfied is good one, not satisfied is not good one also, and then dissatisfied also not good one. No? For example, if they got the promotional activities, but they don't have quality of supervision and provision, they will also keep effect for the motivation. That means the pairing between the hygiene factors and motivation factors must be congruent. Must be congruent. Okay. Number 3 is hierarchy of need theory. Hierarchy of need theory by Herzberg. The traditional satisfaction and dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction, they try to move more to satisfaction, okay, in the traditional hierarchy object. But in Herzberg view, between satisfaction and no satisfaction, and also between no dissatisfaction and dissatisfaction, there are some of the we call it factors contribute to the satisfaction and no satisfaction. Between satisfaction and no satisfaction, they have the motivator. Between no dissatisfaction and dissatisfaction, they have the hygiene factors. Okay, that no dissatisfaction actually similar with satisfaction, but they put similar dissatisfaction here, dissatisfaction, but they put no, they don't put dissatisfaction. Okay. Then we go to Macmillan theory of need. They have the need for achievement, and ACH, need for achievement. That is considered derived to excellent need for achievement. For those in the organization, they have this need for achievement. They will drive them to give a high performance. And number 2, need for power, and 4, need for power. They need to make others behave in a way they would not have behaved otherwise. That means they perform, they have motivation because they need power. They need power. Their performance and their motivation depend on the power they have. Number 3, need affiliation, and EFF. That the desire to friendly and close interpersonal relationship. For those have this kind of key characteristic, very easy to get friend. Also have the very good interpersonal skill. Fall under the need for affiliation. Okay. Okay, next is Macmillan high achiever. High achiever prefer to job. High achiever prefer job with the personal responsibility. That means they have the fully responsibility when they're doing the job. Okay, and give the feedback. Give feedback or report to the immediate supervisor or manager, and intermediate degree or risk 50. High achiever are not necessarily good managers, because of they try to achieve what they want. Sometimes they consider the complaint from the subordinate. That means they try to the using people to achieve their objective. High performance and low affiliation. High performance and low affiliation is related to manager success. You can see when they become a boss, they have less affiliation, but they strive on the performance on affiliation. That means they do together with the subordinate only once a year when they have the celebration. They take care the distance of gap, the distance of the relationship. Then contemporary theory of motivation. This is a new theory, self-determination theory, and goal-setting theory. Under the goal-setting theory, the normal nomenclature of the goal-setting theory is MBO, management by objective. They manage because of they trying to achieve objective. Okay. Self-determination theory, where people prefer to have control over their action. So when they feel they are forced to do something they previously enjoyed, motivation will decrease. That means when they feel they are forced to do something, keep forcing to do something, they previously enjoy. They enjoy, but the motivation will decrease. Motivation will decrease because of they don't have voluntary, but keep forcing by higher authority or the leaders. Cognitive evaluation theory proposed that the introduction of extrinsic reward for the works. Extrinsic means what they get from the work, the pay, the salary, the promotion. That is the extrinsic reward. That is different from the intrinsic reward. Tend to decrease overall motivation. Intrinsic reward, that means people got the praise from their boss and praise from their boss. That is the intrinsic reward. Self-concordance. So this is consider how strong the people present for pursuing goal are consistent with their interests and goals. This is what they call self-concordance. How strong people present for pursuing goal are consistent with their interests and goals. That is being congruent. They have reason to achieve goal, but need the consistency with their interests. The interest must be similar, and the core value must similar with their personality. The goal setting theory, the goal increase performance when goals are specific. You must formulate a specific goal, but you don't have the many goals. Very difficult to achieve. To achieve performance, you must have the specific goal. Difficult but accepted by employees. You must set higher difficult or difficult, and then accepted by the subordinate or by accompanied by feedback. Must receive feedback. Self-generated feedback is the best. Self-generated feedback is the best. That is the goal setting theory under the specific typical company contingency in goal setting theory. There are contingency there. Number one, goal commitment. Goal commitment must be public goal better. Public goal better, right? Rather than individual goal. Then task characteristic, simple and familiar is better. And they do the task, the contingency is the simple and familiar. Then you don't do the unfamiliar. Number three, national culture. Western culture super. That is for the people from the Western country. Normally, people from Eastern country also, they will claim their national culture, Eastern culture suit best. For us from the Eastern culture, we enjoy practice our culture rather than Eastern culture. That is the you don't cheat by the Western scholars. They always promoted the Western culture is the best, but our culture always the best compared with the Western culture. Western culture they're more on the individualistic, and now the individualistic plus the human right. Human right. They do something because of they claim they have the right. But in Eastern culture, we cannot claim we have a right because of we surrounding by our culture, our Eastern culture. We in management we call we in the close contact culture. Everything what we must everything we try to do we must refer to our culture. Okay. MBO management by objective that convert overall organizational objective into specific objective for work unit and individual. Everybody focus on the organization objective to achieve or to accomplishment the objective of the organization. In MBO, they have the common ingredient. Number one is the goal specificity. They have the specific goal. Then they must have the explicit time period. They must have the limited of the period. That is the constraint of the to achieve the MBO explicit time period. They have the range, the time duration, and the number three is performance feedbacks. They must give performance feedback. And number four, very important, is they do the participation decision making, or we call participative decision making, where every member of the organization must participate in decision making. Not decision made by the high authority or leader, but every level of the people organization participate in decision making. That is very good. That's why decision making they make is very good, very good. This is cascading of objective. You see, overall organization objective for the company X, Y, Z. They have the divisional objective. Number one is consumer product division. They have the objective And number two is industrial product division, right? Consumer and the industrial. Okay. Uh, Under the division objective, they have the departmental objective. For example, they have production, sale, customer service. Under industrial product division also, they have the marketing, research, and development. Then the bottom is the individual objective. This one is the uh, organizational objective, then followed by the divisional objective, departmental objective, and last, in the bottom is the individual objective. Okay, other contemporary theory of motivation, self-efficacy theory, that is more used in the OB, reinforcement theory, equity theory, more on the organizational justice. That's why people leave the organization, quit organization because of they don't get the organizational justice or distribution of justice. Next, expectancy theory. Okay. We look at the self-efficacy theory. Self-efficacy theory is individual belief that he or she is capable of performing a task. They have self-belief. Also known as social cognitive theory and social learning theory. They have inner belief that he or she capable of performing tasks. The self-efficacy increased by an active mastery, where they gain experience. They gain experience, and vicarious modeling. See someone else do the task. That is in terms of the we call it workstation. Workstation where people guide them there. Then ask people to do something. For example, coaching. Someone else do the task that they see and they do. Number three, verbal persuasion. Someone convince you that you have the skill. Piece of persuasion, communication. Number four, arousal, get energized. This aspect of self-efficacy, a need for everybody. For students also, they need self-efficacy to learn. Self-efficacy to learn. For workers, self-efficacy to do work. That is under self-efficacy. We see a manager set difficult specific goal for the job, and an individual has confidence that a given level of performance will be attained. Self-efficacy. Okay? And then down here, individual set higher personal set goal for his performance. And individual has higher level of job class performance. Okay, we go to the reinforcement theory. Reinforcement theory is the old motivation theory, where behavior is a function of consequences behavior. For example, operant conditioning theory, operant conditioning theory, behavior, the social learning theory, and reinforcement. Operant conditioning theory is the where, for example, that is the old theory, theory pelajaman operant. They use we call it animal in their theory, to test the theory reinforcement. Okay, that they call the behaviorism. more and more theory in psychology, they use the animal, to the, to make the behavior, to look at their behavior, experimental behavioral. Equity theory, that is the like the economy theory, equity theory. Employee with what they put into the job situation, that is called input, against that, against what they get from it, that the outcome, the input and outcome. The input is the weight, they put in job situation, in the job situation, and then again basically what they get from the job, and that is the outcome. They compare their input outcome ratio with the input outcome ratio of the relevant others. That is the ratio comparison. That's ratio comparison by mathematics. Ratio comparison and perception. This is inequity. This is equity because of not equal, not equal. Inequity due to being under rewarded. Okay. This is the equity and equity. Okay. And then where represent employee and represent relevance. Equity theory suggests employee who perceive inequity will make one for sick choice. If they don't have the equity, that means inequity, their behavior will change in the sick choices. Number one, they will change input. They will change input. Number two, they will change outcome. Number three, distorted perception of the self. Number four, distorted perception of others. And number five, choose a different reference. Oh, that is the worst, and they leave the organization, they leave the field, because they feel unfair treatment. Unfair treatment. Before they leave, they will go to the five choices and change input, change outcome, distort perception of self, and distort perception of others, and choose different reference. Then they will leave, quit from the organization. That is the model of organizational justice in figure there. This is the organizational justice. What is organizational justice? Organizational justice is overall perception of what is fair in the workplace. Example, I think this is a fair place to work. Fair place to work. Fairness or equity have there, but they have the several dimensions of the organizational justice. Number one, they call distributive justice. What is distributive justice? Distributive justice is perceived fairness of outcome. They look at the outcome. They don't look at the input, they look at the outcome. For example, I got the pay raise, I deserve it. If you deserve to get paid. Okay. Number two is procedural justice. That is about the procedural justice. Mean perceived fairness of process used to determine outcome. For example, I had input into the process used to give raises, and what given a good explanation of why I received the raise I did. That is more on procedural. And number three, interactional justice. Mean perceived degree to which one is treated with dignity and respect. For example, when telling me about my race, my supervisor was very nice and complimentary. That means to get the very high organizational justice, they must have the dimension here, 3 dimension. So the high, the lower, or the medium of organizational justice depend on the dimension. Distributive justice, possible justice, and interactional justice. This is very attractive to doing research in organizational behavior. If you have the intention to doing a final year project, you can use this one to measure organizational justice in the organization, and then you can use all this instrument. It's there already in the journal and books. You can adapt or adopt. Expectancy theory. This is a very popular theory in motivation. 3 key relationship. Number 1, effort performance, where perceived probability that exerting effort lead to successful performance. They have the effort first, and then we produce successful performance. Number 2, performance reward. They believe that successful performance lead to the desired outcome. Then they trust. They will perform. They will perform. They must perform, and then to desire of the outcome. Number 3, reward personal goal. That is the effectiveness of the organizational outcome. They perform as individual because of they try to achieve or to getting the organizational outcome. What is organizational outcome here? That's a reward. There's so many rewards. Extrinsic reward and also intrinsic reward. Depend on the individual. That's related to the personality of the employee. Okay, we look at the figure. They start with individual effort. If you don't have effort, that means you don't have motivation. With your effort, going to the individual performance, produce the individual or employee performance, and then the organization gives reward, organizational reward, and then number 3 is the personal goal. Look at the note down there. Number 1, effort performance relationship. That is effort between individual effort and individual performance is effort performance relationship. Number 2, between individual performance and organizational reward, we call performance reward relationship. Between the organizational reward and goal, personal goal, we call reward personal goal relationship. Okay, that is under expectancy theory. Okay, job engagement. What is job engagement? The investment of an employee physical, cognitive, and emotional energize into job performance. That is considered investment. But they engage themselves physically, they engage themselves cognitive, they engage themselves with emotional energy into the job performance. Organization where employees are highly engaged have higher level of productivity. They will produce more productivity from time to time. Right? And then they have a fewer safety incident. Few safety incident. And number 3 is they have lower turnover. That is, we can see in our organization, if they have high job engagement, they have the produce 3 behavioral objectives or outcome here, right? Higher level productivity, fewer safety incident, and lower turnover. Okay, and that is the integrating theory. Yeah. Start with where? Start with the opportunity, individual effort. Opportunity, individual effort. They have the high high achievement, high and high achievement. And then number two, job design. Job design, high achievement go to the personal goal. The ability, ability, objective performance evaluation system. They look at the performance evaluation system. Individual performance or organizational performance. They have the performance evaluation criteria, organizational reward, and then reinforcement here. Reinforcement. They give reinforcement to the chief organizational reward or individual performance. Right? And then that is dominant need here between the organizational reward and the personal goal. Personal goal. Or performance evaluation criteria here, organizational reward is see in terms of the equity comparison. That's why they look at the equity comparison and organizational justice. Okay? That is the from the individual effort to the personal goal. They have the goal direct behavior. That's integrating of the theory. Okay. What the implication for managers? Number one, make sure extrinsic reward for employee are not viewed as coercive. Coercive means forcing, Muhammad said. But instead provide information about competence and relatedness. Consider goal setting theory. A clear and difficult goal often lead to higher level of employee productivity. If they try to achieve more productivity, they must use the goal setting theory. Consider reinforcement theory regarding quality and quantity of work, persistence of effort, absenteeism, and accident rate. That is reinforcement theory. And consult equity theory to help understand productivity, to understand satisfaction, to understand absence, and to understand turnover variable. Expectancy theory offers the powerful explanation of performance variables such as employee productivity, absenteeism, and turnover. That is the very important OB, organizational behaviors, employee productivity, how much they produce, between input and output. Absenteeism, they don't come to the workstation, and turnover. That means they quit from organization. Okay, that is chapter 7. Chapter 7. We try go to the chapter 8. Okay, wait, chapter 8. Okay, you can see this slide.
Yes, Mr.
You can see this slide.
Yes, can.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is continue of the employee motivation. We go to the applied motivation. Applied motivation. How to use or apply motivation in workplace. After studying this chapter, the student be able to be describe how the job characteristic model JCM motivate by changing on the work environment. That means job characteristic model will influenced by the changes of the work environment. And at the end of this chapter, also students be able to compare the main way that job can be redesigned. That is job redesign or re-engineering. One of the popular concepts used in human resource management is re-engineering. Okay? Number three, students be able to explain how specific alternative work arrangement and can motivate the employee. Number four, students be able to describe how employee involvement measures can motivate employee. And next, number five, students be able to demonstrate how the different type of variable pay programs can increase employee motivation. We see students be able to show how flexible benefit turn benefit into motivator. Flexible benefit turn to benefit into motivators. And last but not least, students be able to identify motivational benefit of employee recognition program. Okay. Okay. Motivating by the job characteristic model. Job characteristic model. Jobs are described in terms of 5 core dimensions. Job characteristic model. Number one, skill variety. The variety of skill. When the workers must doing the job, they must have the variety of skill. Second is task identity. They must know what actually the task they must execute. Number three, task significant. Why the task is important? The task significant. And number four is autonomy. They have the autonomy to control to doing the job. And number five is the feedback. They must give feedback. This is very important. Under the job characteristic model, they have five core dimensions. The job characteristic model, we see core job dimension. Under core job dimension have the skill, variety, task identity, task significant. And then they have the autonomy, they have the feedback. But under the critical psychological state, there are interaction between the core job dimension, for example, skill, variety, task, and identity, task significant. They going to the critical psychology state, that is experience meaningful of the works. Then they go to the personal and work outcome. They will produce high internal work motivation. If they have the autonomy, they will experience responsibility for outcome of the job under critical psychological state. Then under the personal and work outcome, they will produce high quality work performance, high satisfaction with the work, and low absenteeism of that feedback is the knowledge of the actual result of the work activities, and they must give feedback. That is they produce the employee goal need strength. Employee goal need strength. Okay? That is between the three of the dimension. Okay. How to designing motivational job? JCM design job give internal reward. The individual growth need moderating factors, and motivating job must be autonomous. And provide feedback, be meaningful. That is under motivating factors. Right? They feel automatic. They feel the giving feedback. Feedback from the several parties, from the boss, from the peers, from the customer, from the subordinate. That means 360 degree of feedback. Okay, and then the meaningful. Then we go to the redesigning job. But it's in simple word we call job rotation. rotation or re-engineering a job. Job rotation, the periodic shifting of employee from one task to the another. That is normal practice in organization. They will posting to the other department to doing a different job or different task. Also called cross training during the location locate there. They from they go to the another rotation. They also learn something from the new job at the new place. Increases job satisfaction and organizational commitment. Job rotation very related to the give the effect or impact of the increased job satisfaction and organizational commitment. But then relational job design. That is design work. Design work so employees are motivated to promote the well-being of organization beneficiary. This relates to story from customer who have benefited from the company product or services, company employees directly with beneficiaries. Next is using alternative. Using alternative work arrangement to the motivate. Number one is flexi time. Flexi time. They always practices like the organization now, especially in the academic or on banking or other services industry, where some discretion over when workers start and leave. What time they will start the job and what time they will log out, log in and log out. Number two is job sharing. Two or more individuals split a traditional job. They're sharing the job. And then number three, telecommuting. Telecommuting is work remotely at least 2 days per week. Work remotely at least 2 days per week. Telecommuting. Okay. Employee involvement. What is employee involvement? This is participative process. Participative process or job involvement process that uses the pool of employee to increase their commitment to the organization's success. There are two types of the employee involvement. Number one is the participative management. Participative management. So my PhD theory, I did my theory in terms of the theory and practices of the participative management in Japanese subsidiary companies in Malaysia. I use this keyword and participative management because of Japan, a very human relationship leadership, human relationship leadership. They need very close with their employees. Type number two is the representative participation. They appoint representative in meeting, for example, in the job task, group task. Two types of the employee involvement. Number one is participative management, where subordinates share a significant degree of decision-making power with superior. There is no border. They have the authority, have the right to the sharing the degree of decision-making power with superior. To be effective, follower must have confidence. Follower must have confidence and trust in leaders. Then leaders should avoid coercion. Keep forcing and stress organizational consequences of decision. Only a modest influence of productivity, motivation, and job satisfaction. This is the under the participation. We will at management. We see the output, the practice and outcome. We look at output. Output is the higher of productivity, the higher of motivation, the higher of motivation. If they practice participative management, the outcome is higher productivity, higher productivity of workers, higher motivation of employee, and higher motivation or higher job satisfaction in organization among the employees. Okay, represent the participation where workers are represented by a small group of employees who participate in decision affecting personnel. For example, work council, for membership, or committee. Redistribute power within organization. Does not appear to be very motivational. The next is using pay to motivate employees. Using pay, using reward. Major strategic reward decision. What to pay employee. How to pay individual employee. Because of some of them working as a group, not for individual. That means we must give reward to the individual, give to the reward equally to the individual, not different reward among the group. What to pay? What to pay? Establishing a pay structure, the balance between internal equity, that means the worth of the job to the organization, and the worth of the job organization, internal equity, external equity, the external competitiveness of organization, pay relative to pay as well in each industry. Okay, that's one step. And then the strategy decision is trade-off. Okay, how to pay? How to pay? Variable pay program based a portion of the pay on a given measure of performance. They must have a piece rate pay plan, merit-based pay, bonuses, profit sharing plan, that employee stock ownership plan, the ESOP. That is a variable pay program. Practiced by the modern organization. Bonus always used by the organization. Profit sharing also practiced by the mono organization. Variable pay program, the piece rate pay, where workers are paid a fixed sum for each unit of production completed. Okay. They will pay after each unit production completed. Piece rate pay. Merit-based pay means pay is based on individual performance flexibility, based on the individual performance. And then bonuses mean reward employee for recent performance. And employee stock ownership plan, ESOP, that is plan which employee acquire stock. Acquire stock often at below market price. Okay. Using benefit to the motive. Benefit are both an employee provision and an employee motivator. And individual employee value the component of benefit packages differently. The flexible benefit program turn the benefit package into motivational goal. And how they use the benefit as the motivator, And then using intrinsic reward to motivate. Employee recognition program under the employee recognition program can be as simple as a spontaneous comment. That is intrinsic reward. Simple and spontaneous comment. You get praise from your boss. Can be formalized in the program. Also, recognition is the most powerful workplace motivator. and the least expensive, but fairness is important. In Japanese and Korean company, always this intrinsic reward to motive. Okay, application to the managers. Application to the managers recognize individual differences, use goal and feedback, and allow employee to participate in decision that affect them. And bring reward to performance, check the reward system and equity. Okay. That's all for the chapter 8. Chapter 8, we have the finish chapter 8. Can we continue to chapter 9 or we open to asking question answers? Miss just no.
I think we can one more chapter to
Okay.
discuss. Yeah.
Okay.
After that, we open the
Okay.
question
Okay.
answer.
Okay. You can see the chapter 10.
Not yet.
Huh?
Not yet. Belum, Pak.
Not yet. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. You can see.
Yes, yes.
Okay. This is a basic group behavior. Basic group behavior. There are 27 slides. After finish this chapter, shouldn't be able to distinguish between different type of group. Group is consists of more than two people. More than two people consider a group, right? At the end of the class, student be able to describe the punctuated equilibrium model of a group development. Student be able to show how role requirement change in different situations. Student be able to demonstrate how non-exert influence on an individual behavior. Student be able to show how status and size differences affect group performance. And student be able to describe how issues of cohesiveness and diversity can be integrated for the group effectiveness, and shouldn't be able to contrast the strength of weakness of the group decision making. Group, right? Okay. Group and group identity. Group is two or more individual. If you consist of two or more, you can develop the group. But they have the condition: two or more individual interacting and interdependent. You must interact and interdependent, who come together to achieve particular objective. And they can be a formal group or informal group. Formal group is defined by organization structure, but informal, neither formally structure or organization determined, for example, lunch buddy from other departments. Okay, this is social identity theory. And under this theory, perspective that consider when and why individuals consider themselves member of the group. Uh, for example, Liverpool versus Manchester City, reaction of the supporters. That is the England FA Cup. Perspective that consider when and why individuals consider themselves members. They affiliate themselves to the other group. In group and out group. In group favoritism occurs when we see members of our group as better than other people, and people not in our group as all the same. All the same, and that is the group. For example, in the Malaysia, we have the very premier school, MCKK, Malay College Kolkata, MCKK, the business correct. In group favoritism, for example, University Gajah Mada. Gajah Mada. So the famous university in Jakarta, in Indonesia. I don't know, Jakarta, Gajah Mada. Gajah Mada, where location of the Gajah Mada? Near to your university or far away from your university? Huh?
Near
Huh?
the top.
A different town, isn't it? Different city, isn't it? Okay. Our group. That is the inverse of an in-group. The inverse of an in-group, out-group. Can mean anyone outside of the group, but usually it is an anti other group. Can mean anyone outside the group, but usually it's an anti other group. That is people level other people as atheists, atheists versus religious group. Atheists, that means they don't believe the existence of the God. The atheists. Religious, that means they have the belief there are God. Okay, norm and conformity. Reference group in which a person is aware of other members, defines self as a members, believe group members to be significant, that they affiliate themselves, become the members, and other people also become the members. Individual try to conform to the norm of this group. They can practice similar norm. To wear the similar t-shirt, wear the similar behavior, For example, Solomon Ash study, member avoid being visibly differences. They don't want to look different. They must look similarity. Member with differing opinion feel extensive pressure to align with others. They don't want to have the different opinion. Must be similar opinion. Norm and behavior, a lesson from the Houghton study. Famous theory in the management. Productivity increased because a group were paid attention to by the observers, not because of the change environment. Houghton is the theory of life, where the performance of the workers in that room controlled by the lighting. If you put more lighting, they will perform. If you reduce lighting, they will not perform. The performance is reduced. That is Houghton theory. The best environment, conducive environment. Okay. Workers in group do not maximize individual economic reward. And group standards are set of enforced by the group itself. Okay, deviant workplace behavior. That is deviant workplace behavior. Always happen in organization. Voluntary behavior that violate significant organization norm. They broken the norm, and in doing so, strengthen the well-being of the organization or its members. Okay, likely to flourish when supported by group norm. People are in group. This is deviant workplace behavior. If in production, in manufacturing, and leaving early. In organization also leaving early and going home early. Or internationally working slowly, work to the role, wasting resources. This is the deviant workplace behavior, very bad behavior. In property, they try to sabotage, lying about our work and stealing from the organization. This is the problem. Another political, showing the favoritism. They support only to one leaders or to one party. They don't open mind to support other parties. Gossiping and spreading rumors always have this attitude. Make very bad gossiping and spreading bad rumors, and also blaming co-workers in organization. Office politics, blaming co-workers. And number 4 is personal aggression. That is very dangerous now in the workplace. Must avoid sexual harassment or any harassment, sexual harassment, religions harassment, and then the race harassment also. Race harassment also happen. This is some sort of the branches of sex harassment, not sexual harassment only. Race harassment and the religious harassment and verbal abuse and stealing from co-workers. Group property 3, group property mean status. Status is a socially defined position or rank given to the group or group members by others, determined by the power a person will over others, a person's ability to contribute to a group goals and individual personal characteristics. Impact of status, the status and norm. High status members often have more freedom to deviate from norm and are better able to resist conformity pressure. And status and group interaction is highly status. People are more assertive, more disciplined. Low status member may not participate, and group creativity may suffer. Impact of status also, the status and equity, perceived inequity create disequilibrium. Must avoid inequity because of the produce or make the disequilibrium in organization and society. Status and stigmatization, people who are stigmatized can infect others. Stigma by association and group status. That is the us versus them mentality. Us versus them mentality. Group status. Group property 4, size. Smaller group are faster at completing tasks. Member perform better. That is very good. Small group. Larger group are constantly better at the problem solving. Not the perform better in the completing task. Social loafing. Tendency for individual to expend less effort when working collectivity and alone. That consistent with individual culture. And this culture society is many social loafing. Preventing social loafing, must set group goal, increase intergroup competition, engage in peer evaluation, select members who have high motivation and like to work in group, and distribute group reward based on members' individual contribution. A group by property, cohesiveness. What is cohesiveness? Cohesiveness is degree to which member of the group are attracted to each other, motivated to stay in the group. Performance-related norms are the moderating variable for productivity and cohesiveness. High cohesiveness with the high norm give high productivity. Then the degree which member in the group attract each other. That is the delicate. They can binding, very strong binding each other, cohesiveness. Then how to encouraging cohesiveness? Make the group smaller. Number two, encourage agreement with the group goal. Number three, increase the time spent together. Number four, increase status and perceived difficulty of membership. Number five, stimulate competition with other group. Number six, give reward to the group rather than to individual members. Number seven, physically isolate the group. Group property 6, diversity. The degree to which members of the group are similar to or different from another. That is diversity. The degree of the differences. Diversity increase group conflict but may improve group performance in long term. Type of group diversity is surface level diversity or deep level diversity. Because of when you have the diversity of the culture and organization, where the employee come from the different background, different cultures, you must have the manage the organization using the multicultural management, okay, instead of the using only one culture. Challenge of the group diversity. Fourth lines, perceived division are split group into the 2 or more subgroups based on individual differences such as gender, race, age, work experience, education. Split are generally detrimental to the group functioning and performance. That is how the group decision making. They have the strength of group decision making and weaknesses of group decision making. Strength is generate more complete information and knowledge, where they will have the many alternatives to make a decision. Number two, increase diversity of view, increase acceptance of solution. Weaknesses, it take longer. Conformity, pressure, discussion can be dominated by one or a few members, and ambiguous responsibility for the final outcome. Effectiveness and efficiency. These two words always used wrongly by the student and by the people in organization. Effectiveness and efficiency. What is effectiveness? Effectiveness is more on accuracy. Group is better than average individual, but worse than most accurate group members. They must have speed. Individual are fastest. They must creativity. Group are better. They must have degree of acceptance of group are better. Efficiency is a group are generally less efficient. That is a differentiation between the grouping and group shift. Grouping is related to the norm and describes situation in which group pressure for conformity, deter the group from critical appraising unusually minority and unpopular views. Where group shift is described the way group members tend to exaggerate their initial position when discussing alternative and arriving at a solution. And that is the difference between grouping and group shift. Where the grouping is more on the thinking the solution. Grouping deterioration of individual mental efficiency, relating testing, moral judgment as a result of a group pressure. Members rationalize away resistance to assumption, pressure doubter to support the majority, doubter keep silent and minimize their misgiving and interpret silence as a yes vote. And how to minimize groupthink? Limit group size to less than 10, encourage group leader to actively seek input from all members and avoid expressing their own opinion. Appoint a devil advocate. Use exercises that stimulate active discussion of the diverse objectives. Group shift or group polarization. Group shift a group discussion lead member to assume new, more extreme position. Group often take position, the greater risk and greater caution may be due to diffuse responsibility of greater comfort level among members. And group decision-making technique. Number one, interacting group, meet face-to-face, rely on verbal or non-verbal interaction, communicate. In communication, there are two types of the communication. One is the verbal, then number two is non-verbal, including the body language. And brainstorming, generate a list of creative alternative, problem and production blocking. And brainstorm. And NGT, nominal group technique, restrict discussion during the decision-making process to encourage independent thinking. And always used by the organization, nominal group technique. This is evaluating group effectiveness between the several types of group, effective criteria, number of quality of ideas, social pressure, money cost, speed, task orientation, potential for interpersonal conflict, commitment to solution development of the group. And that is the effectiveness measured by the interacting by the low, high, or moderate. Brainstorming, moderate, low, or high, and nominal, high, moderate, low. Okay, the implication for managers, recognize the group can dramatically affect individual behavior and organization to either positive or negative effect. Then sometimes the power of group is very influential in the group, and we must control the group to decrease the possibility of the deviant workplace activities. Must decrease and ensure that a group norm do not support antisocial behavior. Pay attention to the status aspect of the group. Use larger group for the fact-finding activities and smaller group for action taken tasks. And last but not least, is to increase employee satisfaction. Ensure people perceive their job role accurately. Okay, so that's all for today. We can have the long Q&A.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Dato Nasir, for the topic for today. Yeah, we have two topics. It's about motivation and also about group behavior. So I open the question. Please raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay. All right. We have Amatullah Hasna. Okay. Miss Amatullah Hasna, you can open your camera and asking the question, please. Pertanyaannya belum. Alright, okay, I will continue to Ayu Nabila. Ayu Nabila, better you open your camera and open your microphone so you can ask directly. Please, Ayu.
Saya izin bertanya. In the material of equity theory is focusing using to make certain about human resource, improve the input and the output. My question is, who's the person who play a role in developing this equity theory? Thank you.
Tak jelas. Not clear. Ms. Chusna.
Okay, maybe you can read on the chat room also, Professor Dato.
Okay.
In the material equity theory is focusing
Ah,
to make certainly
okay,
about
okay.
human resource.
Ayu
Into-
Nabila, I
Yeah,
want
Ayu
to ask
Nabila.
question in the material equity theory in focusing to make certain about human resources, include the input. The question is, who is a person to play the role developing this equity theory? Equity theory must be by the leaders. By the leaders, leaders must be fair, practice fairness among the subordinate, because they give the reward, not by the subordinate, by the organization through the leaders. Leaders determine. Leaders will choose set criteria who will get the reward. The reward must be equity. Everybody must get what they deserve it. They don't give to the wrong person. Okay. That's why if you don't receive the equity equal, you have the several action. You work to the rule, and then you absent or you quit from the organization. Okay. Okay, next.
Okay, next, try to open your camera, Mbak Amatuwo. Are you ready for your question?
Ya, baik, Prof. Izin bertanya, tadi dalam hierarchy of needs teori itu terdapat aspek fisiologikal yang merupakan kebutuhan dasar yang harus dipenuhi manusia. Kemudian, bagaimana jika aspek tersebut dikaitkan dengan organisasi dan kebutuhan dasar apa saja yang harus dipenuhi untuk menjalankan suatu organisasi tersebut? Terima kasih, Prof.
Saya tak berjelas.
Oke,
Not clear.
kebutuhan dasar apa yang harus kita penuhi dalam suatu organisasi, Prof. Dato?
Dasar apa?
Kebutuhan.
What policy?
Ya, tadi kan dijelaskan ada kebutuhan dasar manusia. Nah, kalau untuk membangun suatu organisasi, what we have to prepare for the base of needed?
Yes, then depend on the type of the organization. If you have the manufacturing organization or business organization, the policy organization depend on the objective of the organization. What of the objective? So objective into the try to maximize the profit. That the objective. The organization more go to the objective to maximize the profit. But if they have the social organization, they don't have the profit to achieve or to produce more profit. They only to produce the services. Right? That it depend on the objective of the organization. What you want. Right? Okay.
All right. So Mbak Amatuwo it's depend on the aim of the organization, ya, tujuan organisasinya. Oke, ada yang bertanya lainnya? Biasanya banyak nih. Silakan raise your hand or write on the chat room. Mr. Nandika, please.
Wait, me. I'm trying my question.
All right. Maybe Miss Kintan. Come on. Usually we have a lot of questions. All right. We have Emma here on the chat room. Izin bertanya, ketidakadilan menjadi suatu hal yang biasa terjadi dalam dunia kerja. Misalnya dalam bekerja kita sudah menunjukkan performa, motivasi, dan semangat yang tinggi. Akan tetapi atasan justru memberikan pujian kepada karyawan yang memiliki motivasi dan semangat yang rendah. Bagaimana cara mengatasi ketidakadilan tersebut yang dapat menurunkan motivasi kita di dalam bekerja? Terima kasih.
This is refer to the performance management. Performance management. The organization must have the good performance management system. where that is accurate, we call it accurate, the evaluation of the leaders or bosses or upper level managers toward the subordinate. They have the several criteria. They must fulfill the criteria. They must fulfill the rule. They must fulfill the all these guidance by the performance management system. Normally, the performance management system, they use the 180 degree. Now they change to the 300-degree evaluation. That means evaluation from the immediate boss, evaluation from the peers, their friend, their clique, and then evaluation from the customer and evaluation from the subordinate. There are 360 degree of the evaluation, and that to make sure the performance evaluation is the accurate. If they don't practice that, they will bring the bad impact. That means they will produce the bias performance evaluation. That is the relate to the question, the bias evaluation. Then give the performance, the good performance to the wrong people. Then who perform, they will get the benefit. They will get the reward. And that is very dangerous for the organization. But this is will be checked by the system. That's why they have the one of the mechanism to the avoid the unequity or unfairness is they have the face-to-face interview. They show the evidence, and then they give the reason why you don't perform, why you perform, what you're doing. All evidence the employee bring to the meeting face-to-face. That is very good. We call it a checkpoint to the performance management. But you have a right. You have right to show you perform, and you must get the reward. For example, you have the list of the KPI, key performance indicator. You achieve all the performance key performance indicator. You must get the reward. Okay? But people don't achieve KPI, they receive the reward. That is the very bad practice in organization. Okay, Nandika.
Okay, please, Nandika.
Okay, thank you. Give me time. My question is in organization. Sometimes we have co-works, teamworks who likes the ethic of ourselves. How can we be professional at work without calling on friends who have a low work ethic, memiliki etos kerja yang rendah, low work ethic? How can be professional at work?
Yeah. In organization, ethic is very important. Very important ethics. If in Islam, ethic is the akhlak. Akhlak, our good behavior ethics. You don't break the ethics. If you break the ethics, that means you don't have the good behavior. The people, your friend, or your boss will punish you. You must follow the ethics. One subject in the business is business ethic. Business ethic. That means you don't cheat. You don't cheat. You don't cheat. You keep your promise. Respect each other's. That is one of the example of the ethics. Ethics is very important. If you're doing business, you don't follow the ethic, you don't practice a good ethic, you will finish. Okay. Similar with in organization, if you show the lower work ethic, your friend, your colleague, maybe we call it don't be friend with you, to support you, and then you become lonely in an organization. Then if this is happen, maybe we will produce the low motivation to you to work there, and you must quit from the organization. Okay, Nandika.
Okay, Mr. Thank you for your answer. I'm sorry.
Okay, we still have another question again on the chat room. Nah, sekarang udah banyak nih. Kintan, ya, we have Kintan bertanya terkait cara memotivasi karyawan yang salah satunya yaitu dengan memberikan gaji ataupun bonus apabila mencapai target. Apabila keadaan keuangan perusahaan belum membaik, adakah cara lain untuk memberikan motivasi kepada karyawan agar memiliki etos kerja yang tinggi, Prof?
So many method to encourage people to still perform. Besides give the increment in salary, bonuses, maybe they have the several benefit, like the have the short vacation and send to the overseas for training, and the send and then they give the new task, new job, acting the post before the post is vacancy, have a vacancy, not waiting until the real have the vacancy. They have the several method to the keep the performance, the good performance, still produce higher performance. And that's very dangerous if they don't care this type of the group. They will choose leave that organization because of they feel they produce very good performance, show very good performance, but don't receive the reward. Or the reward is still not creative, still similar. And for example, I have the very good experience where the bonus they get per year, if the chief KPI is 10 times of their salary. That is ridiculous bonus, 10 times. And for the high post bosses, for CEO, chairman, if that company perform in good business, they will receive more and more bonuses. Sometimes they will get $1 million dollars, 1 million ringgit. That is very good. Yearly, if they have the contract for the 4 years, 1 million times 4, 4 million they get. That is that's why they work very hard in that organization, because of the bonus is very big compared with their salary. But the current economy now is not so good. We are still hoping the economy can develop again, and and the business maybe in future we will make more money, you know. That we pray from now. Okay, any question?
Yeah, we have another from Amanda Mesa Sabila. What effort can be made by employees to be able to continue to increase work motivation so that they will achieve job satisfaction?
They be able to
Be able to continue to increase work motivation so that they will achieve job satisfaction.
this is to both very close related between the motivation and job satisfaction. Normally, if they have the higher motivation, they will produce very good performance. They will also get the very good job satisfaction because of in job satisfaction they have several dimensions. Their relationship with the boss, their job itself, they love their job, and their friend, their peers also. So there is interrelated. The congruent between the increases of the job motivation very close with the increases of the job performance or job satisfaction. If you have the time, you can read many articles prove it, the relationship between the motivation and job satisfaction and motivation and job performance. So many research done by the researcher in our regional area or in our country. So many research also done by the Western country, Western researchers.
Okay, the next question from Heni Setiawati. Izin bertanya, bagaimana seorang manajer meminimalisir terjadinya permasalahan antisosial yang ada di kelompoknya, Prof?
Wow, that is simple. For those antisocial, must make it their very good in social activity. So plan the social function in the office, in the organization. Make it compulsory. Everybody must take the activity, participate in that activity. Maybe start with the we call it, have the coffee club, and then monthly meeting, or they have the tournament. So very easy, bowling or other sport. That's very good. I have the during my time 40 years ago, that is very few sport, you know. We play with the boss chess or carom, you know, so we can get in touch with our boss, and everybody have the take turn their turn to the play with the boss to know the boss character, and boss also want to know each other between their subordinate. That is very good. Okay.
Okay, the next question from Rashida Amarasena. Izin bertanya, Prof, terkadang employee have a lot of job, ya, sudah ada tambahan tugas dari atasan yang sebenarnya bukan tugas utama dari karyawan tersebut, karena terkadang karyawan merasa terbebani. Jadi bagaimana cara manajer membangun motivasi pekerjaan untuk karyawan tersebut, Prof, agar karyawan tetap produktif selain memotivasi dan memberikan reward?
That concept is very clear. They give the job to people not in job scope. You know, sometimes that is the try to test the job enrichment, job enrichment, give another job to the another workers to perform the job. You know, because of they try to they encourage that employee to doing the job outside of the job description, and that is very good. That means if something happened to the another people, always their routine doing the job, they will easily to replace by the that staff. That is very very normal practice in organization. But if you succeed to the doing that job, maybe you will get reward. Will get reward and then get something from your boss. Yeah? This always happen in organization because of they try to practice. Everybody will perform multitasking. You know, multitasking, not doing the one task. They're doing several tasks. That is the kind of the workers needed by the in organization now. They need people can do it multitasking. Yeah, they will benefit to the organization rather than one employee do one job. That is we call it practice long time ago when the during the pre-industrial industrial century. Yeah? That is the people do one job, not multitasking. Now organization need people be able to doing multitasking. Okay, any question?
Yeah, we still have 3 more questions. The next is from Iis Santriawati. Terkadang ketika memiliki motivasi dan semangat yang tinggi dalam bekerja, ada beberapa teman yang justru tidak melakukan support, malah membuat kita menjadi insecure atau semangatnya turun. Jadi bagaimana menghadapi kondisi seperti itu, Prof?
This is normal in this situation. Not in the similar. They don't practice a similar spirit, a similar attitude. You know. Number one is the boss. The immediate managers must take action. Action to deter or to the we call it stop this bad behavior practiced by the staff, you know, because of they will give a bad impact to the others workers, other employee, and then maybe they will give the verbal warning, public warning, or maybe they will give show cause letter to that guy, that people. Don't practice the very bad attitude in workplace. They must encourage. They must practice more, support each other, doing work together for the benefit of the organization. That is maybe they will, if in the organization, they send to the counselor, work counselor, or they can have the religious class, religious class, and advice him or her to don't do the bad thing. That is the sin to the for him to the her or his friend. Okay.
All right, we have one person who raised hand. Please, Fitri Nur Handayani.
Oke, thank you, Miss. Saya izin bertanya. Dalam suatu kasus saya pernah mendengar bahwa seorang manajer perusahaan memberikan reward guna mencegah karyawan yang ingin resign. Bagaimana agar tidak menimbulkan kecemburuan terhadap karyawan lain? Terima kasih.
Ulang balik, Miss Jusno.
Sorry?
Ulang balik, repeat
Oh,
again.
ulang balik Mbak Fitri.
Baik, Prof. Dalam suatu kasus, saya pernah mendengar bahwa seorang manajer perusahaan memberikan reward guna mencegah karyawan yang ingin resign. Rewardnya bisa berupa kenaikan gaji atau fasilitas yang lain. Nah, bagaimana agar hal tersebut tidak menimbulkan kecemburuan terhadap karyawan lain? Terima kasih.
Beri
Oke.
apa tuh? Beri apa tadi?
Reward.
Reward.
Ya. Mau keluar tapi dicegah dengan diberikan reward. Tapi gimana nanti untuk karyawan lainnya? Cemburu dong, Prof.
That's unfair treatment. Unfair treatment. We have the policy, we have the rule and regulation. We must impose the same rule and regulation. Don't apa ni? Apa ni? Unfair treatment, give unfair treatment. Somebody can pass the some majority must obey the rule and regulation. Somebody will allow to don't follow the regulation. That is very bad practice. That's why they formulate rule and regulation. That is the guideline must be followed. Must be followed. Whether they are higher authority, managers or subordinate. From top to bottom, they must follow, they must respect the rule and regulation. That's why we produce regulation and then we don't follow. That is very bad in organization. We must follow. Must follow. Sometime in KPK in corruption, they consider the people break the law or not follow the rule and regulation, consider as the rasuah, bribe, rasuah. That is very very bad for the definition of the KPK. For example, curi masa, konten, itu rasuah. Tidak lagi salah guna kuasa pun rasuah. Okay, next.
Okay, so we have Christina Rika Pratiwi. Izin bertanya, bagaimana jika suatu kelompok merasa kelompoknya lebih baik dari kelompok yang lain secara berlebihan? Apakah hal tersebut berdampak baik atau buruk bagi anggota kelompoknya sendiri, Prof?
That is good, nah? That is good. We think that's bad. This is good. That is encourage the competition among the group. Competition among the group. They will produce very good result. They compete each other. That is very good. There must be guidance and must have the reward. Every group will receive the reward. The best group have to receive different type of reward. That is very good. We must encourage. Okay.
Okay, the next question from Nailus Syaadah. Izin bertanya, salah satu kelemahan dalam pengambilan keputusan kelompok adalah diskusi didominasi oleh satu anggota. Bagaimana agar semua anggota kelompok dapat berpartisipasi aktif dan tidak hanya didominasi oleh satu kelompok saja, Prof?
That is the determined by the chairman or the leaders of the group. The leaders of group don't become the controller of the group. They must have acting as the facilitate the group. Facilitate. If one person try to control the group, the facilitator or the leader of the group must stop the practices and give chance another person to involve in the decision making. For example, give ideas. They must be fair to the members of the group. Don't allow one person control to throw ideas in process of decision making. They must be fair. That means they must set the rule before the group discuss about the problem. The rule and regulation. They must tell everybody. They must allow everybody to speak up, to give ideas, and they don't allow somebody try to control the group. The group must give equal chance to everybody of member of the group take part in decision making. Because of the decision making, at the end of decision making, must accept by all of member of the group. That is the best decision making, the good or bad decision making.
All right, so this is the last question from Rofiah Maharani, Prof. In job engagement, why organization where employees are highly engagement have fewer safety incident and lower turnover? Thank you.
Normally when they practice the high engagement means not the physically engagement, but the psychology engagement and the also their thinking also involved in the engagement. That is they feel they be part of the organization and consider the important person in organization. If they put themselves as a part of organization, and sometimes they feel that organization belong to them. They feel they have the ownership to the organization. That's why they will produce the very small turnover or zero turnover, unless they have the any good attraction outside there, where the organization itself cannot give them. They will decide either they still in organization or grab the opportunity outside there. That is the right of the employee or individual to get more benefit or very good high salary. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Professor Dato Nasir. That's
Okay.
all the questions.
Thank you. See you next week.
See you next week. Have
Okay,
a nice day. Bye-bye. So for other, don't forget to fill the presentation for class B or class E. And like I told you on the group, WhatsApp group, you have to prepare and get attention for the material from Professor Dato, because it will be material for your midterm test, yeah. And don't forget to keep the screenshot of your photo. So this is to be attached, ya, nanti akan dilampirkan in your resume, oke? Jadi nanti tuh makalahnya berupa berisi 8 pertemuan ya teman-teman. Dari each meeting kalian membuat resume dari apa yang sudah diberikan oleh Prof. Dato Nasir, oke? Alright, thank you very much for today. We will meet again next week. I hope that there will be no reschedule again. So that's it for me. I'll see you. Bye-bye. Goodbye. I love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss.
Welcome. Don't forget to the presentation ya. Waalaikumsalam. Jangan lupa isi presensinya.